Yahweh Yasharallah, Gal Halal Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Yakakadash. We give double honors to the apostles and teachers and elders and of the GMS camp with a mass great millstone for the 100% that have been currently edified under. Today's lessons a little bit, how to put it, simple to be exact. And we're dealing with adultery, talking about from flesh. I think I will do a next video of adultery concerning how I'm concerning us seeking after other deities in the past, right? And people that are still doing it now today. But this lesson is dealing directly with thou shalt not commit adultery. Meaning, man, would I be looking upon another man's wife or proceeding to go in onto her while she is still married? So, like this lesson going. I hope you always hear what I'm saying. Right. So, when you go into this lesson, the reason not because there are many videos of people. There are many videos of people that when you watch a situation on TikTok, they are indeed with no remorse, without care in the world, going with another man's wife, or even going with another man's husband, or even going with another man to be exact. And while they are married, and this is a big no because the scriptures made it plain. And yes, like I say, it's a simple lesson, so like get into it, right? When you go into Exodus chapter 20, dealing with the laws, the exact 20. I said Exodus. Okay, I don't know. Exodus chapter 20. Bear with me a little bit, I know get up to, so you know everything will be a little fresh. Right. Oh yes. So anyways, 20 and verse 14. We get straight to the point with this one. It says, I wish my screen not mess up right now. It says, thou shalt not commit adultery. Right? So, with that understanding, we know directly off rip, it is not for us to commit adultery. And let me go into this a little bit more when I go into Leviticus 18. And matter of fact, before we go into that, let me come back in this. Right, let's go into 18, sorry. And 20. I rain falling in. Wow, it says moreover. It's like if you disclaimer truth, like after that. It says, moreover, thou shalt not lie carnally with thy neighbor's wife to defile thyself with her. So, Leviticus 18 and 20 is briefly explaining what adultery really is, right? So we have a better understanding, okay? And in the NLT it says, do not defile yourself by having sexual intercourse with your neighbor's wife. Directly so. And when you go into Leviticus 20, which also give a better understanding. It says, and a man that commit adultery with another man's wife, even he that committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, the adulterer and the adulteress shall surely be put to death. So, when I go into the NLT again, it says, which is direct. This didn't need to be explained, but just to be on the safe side. If a man committed adultery with his neighbor's wife, both the man and the woman has committed adultery and must be put to death, to be exact. And the reason why I'm going into this, because, like I said, there's a video of a guy literally speaking about a married woman coming to him. He know that she is married, went in on to her, and she pays all his bills and she pays for everything. Now, he is speaking about that in such a way though, like like it's a normal outcome. Like it's nothing sinful because they don't have the eyes to see and the ears to hear. They are given a spirit of slumber. You understand? And we know back then that we will be taught the commandments and the laws, or let's say part of the Bible, which is the 10 Commandments. Everybody's supposed to know that thou shalt not commit adultery and know what adultery is. So that is the reason why I'm doing this lesson, because many people, many jakes, and this dude was a jake. So many jakes are knowing the truth, rejects the honest truth, and continues to proceed to do what they want to do. So you can't expect Yahweh to give you no backlash. You cannot expect Yahweh to not give you a backlash, literally, for that nonsense. I'm just being honest with you. So this has to be addressed, and I hope people that are in this truth aren't doing this either, to be exact. So, when they go into Matthews now, which we chapter 5. And verses, I hope I have the right precept. I always have to write these things. Chapter 5, verses 28 to 27 to 28, it says, if ye heard that it was said by them of old time, thou shalt not commit adultery. But I say unto you, understand? But I say unto you that whosoever looketh on a woman to lust after her had committed adultery with her already in his heart. With that understanding, if you see a woman going down the road and begin to fantasize about you and her already in the act, that is it for you. You already committed adultery in your mind, in your heart, which is your mind, because you're thinking about it. You thought about it thoroughly, to be exact, for you to reach, you understand? So, and that's just where it is. And the system and society have it as to where women are now more promiscuous and masculine. That, like, I mean, for us, it's not hard, but for many people, it is much more hard than you think. Understand? So that's just where it is. Because there's many women that walk around the place either half naked or a bodysuit, pants and the showing the self. Now, I don't really give a damn about that. But like I say, for the ones who are not in this truth, they would lust over it, to be exact. But let me continue. So in reality, if you are interested in a woman, the first question should be, really and truly, are you married? Do you have a husband? You understand? Is he still alive? Something. Because really and truly, you'll be putting yourself in harm's way, because you'll be breaking a law, especially if you know the truth. If you come in and you know and you get an understanding of the truth. Now, as for me, I really didn't have an understanding of the truth and know the laws, but not at that level that I am now. So, but it is what it is. Let's go into Romans chapter 7. My screen, I don't know, it giving promise to click. It is what it is. And verse 2, which deals with a widow, to be exact. So it says, for the woman which had a husband is bound by the law to her husband, so long as he liveth. But if the husband, right, be unalived, matter of fact, be dead, sorry, I keep saying, come on, she is loosed from the law of her husband. And with understanding, if he is unalive and she becomes a widow, she's no longer bound under the laws of her husband, right? Which means, indeed, if Yahweh's will it, she could proceed to have another husband, but she has to be stayed with that one husband, not jumping round and round. If you get where I'm coming from, like these women out here. And it says, so then, if while her husband liveth, she be married to another man, she shall be called an adulteress. But if her husband be dead, she is free from the law, so that she is no adulteress, though she be married to another man. So that is self-explanatory. That makes it clear. If it is, you're married, you have a husband already, and you're not supposed to be sleeping with another man, or else you'll be adulterous. And that is also worthy of death. And like the scriptures say, if your husband is unalive and you tend to, and you are now free from the law, so you can, like I said before, you can proceed if you have a will free to get a better next husband. So that's just where it is. And I want to go there into the laws, dealing with the laws specifically, because the scriptures already made it plain. And one of the ways that when I go into the laws, the two famous, the two greatest laws, famous and greatest laws in the commandment, in the book. When you go into Mark chapter 30 and 31, it says, I pass it. It says, straight to the point. The matter of fact, I'll read up. It says, and Yahushua answered him, the first of all the commandments is, hear, O Israel, Yahweh, our power is one power. Is one power. Excuse me. Wow. Anyways, and thou shalt love Yahweh thy power. Excuse me. My bad. I blocked my mouth. Anyways, with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind, and with all thy strength. This is the first commandment. And the second one, it says, and the second is like, namely this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And there is none other commandment greater than these. Right? And now we have the carnal jakes who want to say, well, just to show love to your neighbor. Now we have that understanding, but let me establish this point. How do we show love to your neighbor? And how do we show love to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahushai? Now we go into it. When you go into Matthew chapter 22 and verses 40, scriptures made it plain that we cannot refuse it. So after hearing this, you know now, when you go into 37 to 40, which deals with the same thing, but we go into a more simple understanding for those simpletons. Yahushua said unto him, thou shalt love Yahweh thy power with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. I would say the greatest commandment, but because it entails, anyways, let's continue. And the second is likely unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And it says, right? I want you to listen to this. On these two commandments hang all the laws and the prophets. And when you go into the NLT, again, the entire law and all the demands of the prophet are based on these two commandments. Understand? That is the reason. So you're hearing it for yourself. So now we understand what he's speaking about. If you love Yahweh, you keep his commandments, you keep his words. If you love your neighbors, you keep the commandment that is given to show love to your neighbor. One of the things is to what? Not to unalive them.
You understand? Not to go in onto their wives. You understand where I'm coming from? All these so on and so forth. So that's just where it is. And there are many people who would like to say, well, the laws are done away with. Yeah, okay then. Like going to Romans 33 and 31, but still like to be exact. And we did this before, but let's do it again because we did part of the laws to be exact. It says, do we then make void of the law through faith? It says, power forbid. Yea, we establish the law. And when you go into the NLT, it says, well then, if we well, sorry, I'm gonna pause. Yeah, sorry about that. Really and truly, yeah. Yesterday, I'm not sick, just my throat. It's not sore or anything. It's just it's hard to explain. Just let us know. I exercise. I did a nice hard sprint around the block, and I had plenty and a boost of energy, so I kind of ball it out now. Because the rain was about to fall too, and I didn't want to go back and run again because I had plenty of energy, so I scream it out and I do push-ups and all that thing, and I can tell something. Anyways, let me get back to the topic. We be straight. It says, well then, if we emphasize faith, does this mean that we can sorry does does this mean that we can forget about the law? Of course, wait, it recorded good, but I just want to make sure it recorded. It says, of course not. In fact, when we have faith, do we truly fulfill the law? Right? And that's a very good demonstration. Is what of fact, let me go into it. I believe, just in case I don't want to miss the precept. I don't think I have it. I'm gonna find it. Right, let me go into James real quick. Chapter 2. Hold on. And 18, where it says, yea, a man may say, thou hast faith, and I have works. Show me thy faith without thy works, and I will show thee my faith by my works. Right? So we have to understand, right? We have to understand that the laws aren't done away with, right? And this because in this time it would only be given to those that can keep the laws correctly. Of course, we are in captivity, so we will have grace and mercy, right? Sorry again. Everything happening at this time. With sincerity, right? Hold on. And with sincerity and with faith, meaning those that are called to receive the truth, which we know are indeed the elect, or the wanted to be exact. But with that understanding, that's just where it is. Not many of us will be able to receive this truth, and not many of us will be able to keep the laws. And at times, we that are called as well, at times are given grace because we are unable to keep the laws at times. Because guess what? Many of us have to work to survive, to take care of. I don't have children, but for those who have to take care of their children and so on and so forth, right? So that's just where it is. So that is why it reiterates when you go back into Romans chapter 13 and 8, which you will and read coming down. It says, right, 8 to 9, and it says, right, owe no man anything but love one another, for he that loveth another had fulfilled the law. See? And we're talking about exactly what we read earlier. He that loveth another, meaning his neighbor, Because when you go into the NLT, it says, owe nothing to another except for your obligation to love one another. If you love your neighbor, you will fulfill the requirements of your Yahweh's law. So when you go into the laws of Yahweh, when you go into 9 now, it says, for this, and this is the standard. Here it says, for this, thou shalt not commit adultery. See, first point, exactly what we're dealing with. But let me continue. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, thou shalt not covet. And if there be any other commandment, it is briefly comprehended in this saying, namely, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. And again, for the simpletons, when they get the NLT, now I don't use NLT all the time, but for these things, it's easy to use NLT because there are many people who still be confused. And I don't want you confused when you're listening to me. Just as simple. So there you go. It says, for the commandments say, you must not commit adultery. You must not murder. You must not steal. You must not covet. These and other such commandments are summed up in this one commandment: love your neighbor as yourself, which we read in Matthew chapter 22 and verse 40. It's 40. Make sure. Let's see. I think it's 40. Yeah, 40, about 40. So, with that understanding, so that should be like, how to put it? That should give you a proper understanding as to what we're dealing with today. Because we have many Christians and religions that would say that the laws are done away with. Now, that alone should prove you all incorrect. The laws aren't done away with. Only those that have the faith in Yahweh Bahasham Yahweh Shai. That's the only the faith that he gave the faith to receive the truth. Then they will be able to keep it correctly. Understand? So it's not for, at this time, it's not for everybody. And in reality, it's only for the children of Israel. Nobody else was added into the law. Very simple. So now let me go into Deuteronomy, because we're going back. We're iterating on Deuteronomy 5 and 8, which was mentioned in Exodus as well. 5 and 18, it says, straight to the point, neither shalt thou commit adultery. So we go back into it. We understand what adultery is, and we will know not to do it. Because according to Leviticus 20 and 10, the punishment for it is death. Of course, on this side, it might be much worse. Anyways, so when you go into Psalms, which is, we're closing off here, dealing with Psalms, chapter let me check 5, I believe, and 4, where it says, let me check it, I probably have it correct. Yes, look at as it says here, for thou art not a power that had pleasure in wickedness, neither shall evil dwell with thee. It says, the foolish shall not stand in thy sight. Thou hatest all workers of iniquity. And just to close off on that, when I go into Proverbs chapter 1, I will get it. It says, the fear of Yahweh is the beginning of wisdom, right? But the fools despise wisdom and instructions. Which means, if you want to live a worldly life, and ignore the truth, ignore the Arkham and Arkwats that are Arkham that stand on the corners today, that are preaching this truth, that are trying to call you, and you ignore this, you are a fool. Because you are given instructions and you are going against it. So I hope, again, many of us jakes are heeding the warnings and not sticking into their old ways, because guess what? that time will come where you will be unalive. Very simple. Not for this truth, just for being unalive. So that's just what it is. So, Shalom Yasharala, Gal Hala Yahweh, Bahasham Yahweh Bahasham Kakadash. We give double honors to the apostles, prophets, and teachers and leaders of the JMS camp who rule well. Peace and salutations unto the hopefully elect. And Tawada for my, Tawada and Shalom to my elders, Matazabats and Abaniah. And I hope this lesson was indeed edifying. I hope you all get some understanding. It's supposed to be a simple lesson. So I believe, sorry for the clear throats, and certain times I would clear my throat and bring out some stuff, Again, shalom, Yasharala, and you have a good one.